Hi there. Today I thought I'd try a nice developed mature Pinot Noir, and uh, about a year ago, in fact a year ago next week, one of the pioneers of New Zealand's biodynamic viticulture unfortunately passed away, a man called Mike Weersing. And Mike and his wife Claudia set up Pyramid Valley down in North Canterbury back in the year 2000. Recently one of our auction houses did a sale of Mike and Claudia's cellar, and I picked up a few bottles. So on this occasion I've got from that collection the Eaton family vineyard from 2004. So although Pyramid Valley is in North Canterbury, the growers' collection wines are made from vineyards owned by individual vineyards from individual growers elsewhere around New Zealand. So this is a Marlborough wine. Particularly it's from a vineyard in the Otago Valley, one of the southern valleys, where the Eaton family, Mike Eaton, a viticulturist who was involved in developing some really very well-known vineyards in that area. For instance, the Claudia vineyard there, on these heavier clay soils where it's been found in Marlborough that Pinot does really well. Mike and Claudia work very hard at sort of low intervention winemaking, have tended to pull back on oak use. So he was one of the early users of clay fermenters within New Zealand. So I'm looking for a wine made with really good fruit, and 2004, so nice age on it. So let's see how we go with that. Looking at the colour, the first impression is that this is a very dark pigmentation. I mean, the fact that it's 17 years old, this colour is a vivid ruby. It's not browning at all, even at the rim. It's not deep in colour. I can see straight through it, but swirling it to release the aromas, there's not a lot of aroma to give away, which is disappointing, really. There's quite a sort of an earthy, mushroomy, perhaps note of truffle, but the red fruit is behind that. There's almost a sort of a slightly dried vegetation, forest floor, tea bag sort of note. To taste the wine, for a 17-year-old wine, the concentration of fruit is massively impressive. You've got all those things that were on the nose, that sort of earthy truffle notes coming out, a firm structure, of velvety tannins that you'd have thought might have softened. This must have had a real core of fruit when it was younger. The fruit notes are sort of dark prune, dark cherry. The wine doesn't seem to have high acid, and yet I'm salivating beautifully, so I can only think its acidity is hidden by this intensity of fruit. I'm tempted to say that if I was comparing that to a Burgundy, I'd be looking at something of sort of Grand Cru sort of quality. Having said that, the style, the earthy style, is much more like the wines of somewhere like Pommard or perhaps Louis Saint-Georges, neither of which actually have established Grand Crus. So really good style of wine from that. So I think lovely concentration, flavours lasting in my mouth beautifully. No overlaying of oak heavily on this at all. That's just beautiful Pinot Noir concentration. So yes, really lovely wine, and in memory of what Mike Weersing. Sad that we've lost him. Bye now.